Hello, this is Reverend Dore, bringing you Religious Science, which is the teaching of the science of mind. That's the seminal book that Ernest Holmes wrote, The Science of Mind. You can get it at Amazon.com. It's also the perennial philosophy that runs all the way through Plato and Aristotle, through the original teachings of Jesus before Paul changed them, and through every major religion today. It's that kernel of truth in everything. Today, let's talk about life. You know, last week I wrote a post called The Road to Well-Being According to Reverend Dore. We listed 10 laws of well-being, promising a post on each one. Today let's cover laws 1 and 2. Let's start with law 1. Life does not happen to you. Sometimes we speak about life as if it were a living thing, an entity that acts upon us. I've heard, well, you just have to play the cards you were dealt. Life isn't fair. Life is just a roll of the dice. Or as Forrest Gump would have said, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. We hear these golden oldies so often that they become iconic in our culture. I believe that most people think that they are just blank sheets of paper waiting to be written upon by something out there called life. This belief was ingrained in the American psyche, I believe, by behaviorist psychologists, which told us that we were tabula rosas, or blank slates, when born, and that environment and life circumstances created who and what we were. Therefore, we weren't to blame for it, were we? This came in blank and the world wrote on us. Oh my goodness. This was a time when nature took a backseat to nurture. To the behaviorist, genes were just our physical makeup. We were created by experience and circumstance. We now know that we come into this life with a genetic template or model of what we may become. It's sort of an outline, and we get to color in between the lines. Genes make us short or tall, male or female, determine our race, make us athletic or not, very bright or average, but they do not forecast what we will choose to do with the template that we've been given. We are not prisoners of our genes or our environment. Both genes and our experiences influence who we become, but we can always accept these influences, no matter how strong or not strong, or transcend them. That's a good thing, because my father was born in 1898 and my mother in 1911, and they both had ideas about society that wouldn't fly for 10 minutes today. If I'd have accepted everything they taught me, I'd be in a world of hurt. The truth about life, according to Reverend Dore, is that operating within the genetic template we chose before we came in. Yes, we did choose who, where, and as what we came in. We can make anything that our imagination, will, and intellect can create for us. We are the deciding factor of our lives. We are the driving wheel. We're the only living being that has been present every second of our life. That's the ultimate proof that we are the architect of our life. Therefore, we're free. When you accept the cardinal fact of life, this cardinal fact of life, you instantly throw off the chains of circumstance, luck, fate, race, ethnicity, social or economic circumstance, and you are free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last. It feels like a weight's been taken off your shoulders. You're no longer a victim. I created this peck of poo, or this wonderful thing called life I'm living. I can change it. If I'm a victim, I can do nothing but wail. If you believe that life happens to you, then you're a prisoner serving time in a prison called life. What can you do? You can't change life. Your arms are too short to box with God. How many times have I heard that? You're a victim crying out for God, fate, Lady Luck, the goddess Isis, or the great continent Mu to deliver you from this thing called life. Living as a passive pawn of life is a little bit like living in a hospital emergency room. It's crisis after crisis, and none of them are your fault, So what are you going to do? Woe is me, from where shall my help come? Yeah, when bad times come, I'm not making fun of them. They're sad. But remember, you created them. The truth is that life is the passive tablet. It is the wax tablet that you write upon with the stylus of your thoughts, your words, and your deeds. And also what you neglect to do. It isn't just what you do, it's what you should have done and you said, nah, I'm not going to do it. That's even more powerful, what you failed to do. Life only exists in the human mind. Can't you see that? There's nothing out there called life. Life is merely what we call our individual and collective experience of living. Remember, you lead a life, you don't follow it. That's a good clue right there. We don't say you follow a life, we say you let it. You create every experience of your life by what you think, what you believe at the core of your being. Now that's who you really are, what you believe at the core of your being, and impels everything that you do. What you say, and by the actions you take or fail to take. Just ask Donald Sterling, the former owner of the Los Angeles Clippers basketball team, about the power of words. Well, now, he wasn't too popular at L.A. anyway, because he was sort of a scuzzbag. But who created the loss of his team, his reputation, and his fall from grace? Was it luck? Was it fate? Was it an angry God? No, Donald Sterling created his downfall by speaking racist words to his multiracial girlfriend. When I really had to laugh at that, because my family, all my kids, my grandkids are multiracial. I'm sitting there thinking, you're saying this to her? He knew in his heart those words would ruin him if they ever became public, but he spoke them anyway, thinking it was private. In this era, everything can and probably will become public. You never know. We have always been responsible for our lives, whether we realized it or not. However, perhaps more than at any time in history, our words, our opinions, our private lives, our choices, and our actions are on public display through social media, smartphone videos, secret recording, video surveillance, and now even government monitoring of our so-called private conversations. This is the age of responsibility. You indeed are the captain of your fate and the master of your soul. The good news is that if you are unhappy with your present course, chart a new one. You're the captain after all. Law number 2. Life does not happen to you, my dear friends. You happen to life. We've already touched on this earlier, but you act upon life as an actor acts on a stage. And like an actor, you're responsible for your performance. Your life is your performance, and you will live with the results and the reviews. Think before you speak. Tweet, Google+, Facebook, post on Instagram, or comment on LinkedIn. Social media has given us a good and valuable lesson in self-responsibility in this age where we all seem to be impelled to wash the dirtiest laundry in public. And I've never understood that, but so it is. You have chosen to come here to learn and grow. You did choose to come here. It's kind of like taking a tour. I'll pick this one because I need to learn this lesson. So don't waste it. Don't waste a second of the lesson. If you avoid the lesson, you'll just have to do it again. You remember that class you didn't pass and had to take over in summer school? That's about how life works. So do it right the first time and move on. For more information about the perennial philosophy, go to csl.org. That's csl.org. Look up the nearest Center for Spiritual Living near you. Attend a Sunday celebration, which is what we call our services. You'll just have more fun. Or perhaps sign up for an introductory Science of Mind class. It could be the beginning of the transformation of your life. We're not some do's and don'ts religion. We don't say thou shalt not. We teach you how to live more successfully. And if you like it, you come. And if you don't, you don't. This is Reverend Dore, Jacques Patlian, asking you to check out my 100 video podcasts on youtube.com/RevDore. They're a lot more fun to actually see the great video work by Mario Leone, my video producer, that goes with these posts. Until then, bye-bye for now.